Settle into this moment with me now, beloved. Let your body sink deeper into whatever holds you. Feel the weight of your bones melting into the earth beneath you. You are safe. You are held. You are exactly where you need to be. Breathe with me, slowly, deeply. Draw the breath in through your nose, filling your belly first, then your ribs, then your chest. Fill yourself with the golden light of infinite possibility. Hold it there, just for a moment. And now release. Let it flow out like a river returning to the ocean, carrying with it every doubt, every fear, every old story that no longer serves the magnificence of who you're becoming. Again, beloved. Breathe in. This time imagine you're drawing in stardust from the cosmos itself. From the field where all wealth originates. From the realm where prosperity already knows your name. Already feels your frequency, already recognizes you as home. Hold this sacred breath. Let it reorganize every cell, every atom, every particle of your being. And release. Exhaling scarcity like smoke dissolving into infinite sky, exhaling the old identity. Exhaling the version of you that believed abundance was meant for someone else. One more time. And this time, breathe as if you're breathing in your future self. The you who is already wealthy. The you who is already free. The you who is already overflowing. Draw that future into your present moment. Hold it. Let it become real in your body, in your blood, in your bones. And release. Letting your entire nervous system understand that what we're about to journey through together is not information gathering. It is soul calibration. It is the rewiring of your energetic relationship with prosperity itself. It is the remembering of an ancient truth your spirit has always known. As the sound of this crystal bowl rings through your awareness. Feel it washing through your field, clearing away the debris of old programming. Dissolving the walls you've built around your worthiness. Opening the channels through which infinite wealth is already trying to reach you. Set your field now, beloved. What we experience together in these sacred hours will not simply be heard, it will be absorbed. It will not simply be understood, it will be integrated into the fabric of your being. You are not here by accident. The invisible intelligence that orchestrates galaxies and guides salmon upstream. That knows when to bloom the rose and when to turn the leaves. Has placed you here, in this exact moment, because your money field is ready to shift. Because your soul has decided, enough of the struggle. Enough of the lack. Enough of watching others thrive while you merely survive. The codes are activating in your consciousness right now. Your container is opening like a flower to the sun. And prosperity, that ancient, patient energy, is about to recognize you as the home it's been searching for, the foundation, understanding the new paradigm. Let me tell you something that will shatter everything you've been taught and rebuild it into something true. You don't chase money, beloved. You become a place it trusts. You become a sanctuary it seeks. You become soil so rich, so fertile, so stable that wealth has no choice but to root there and grow. For years, perhaps your entire life, you've been sold the lie of pursuit. The gospel of hustle. The religion of more, more, more. Work harder, they said. Sleep less. Sacrifice your peace, your presence, your very life force on the altar of achievement. And beneath all that noise, beneath all that frenetic doing, was a single toxic belief. Buried so deep you might not have even known it was there, that wealth is out there. Separate from you, foreign to you, requiring capture, requiring force. Requiring you to become someone you're not in order to finally be enough. But here's the truth that mystics have whispered and quantum physicists are now proving: money is not a thing to be chased. Money is energy seeking a stable home. Money is consciousness looking for consciousness it recognizes. Money is frequency searching for a matching frequency. Think about it this way, beloved. Where does water flow? Not uphill. Not through resistance. It flows to the lowest point, the path of least resistance, the place that naturally receives it. Where does light shine? Toward the darkness that's ready to be illuminated. Where does a bird build its nest? In the tree that's strong enough, stable enough, trustworthy enough to hold new life. Where does money go? To the person who has become an irresistible field of order, clarity, service, and trust. To the consciousness that has stopped performing worthiness and started embodying it, you are not broken, beloved. Let me say that again because your wounded inner child needs to hear it. You are not broken. Your empty bank account is not a referendum on your soul's value. Your struggle is not evidence of your inadequacy. What you're experiencing is simply a field mismatch. Your internal frequency and the frequency of wealth have been out of sync, like two radio stations playing different songs. And today, in this sacred space, we tune them to the same station. Not through more doing. Through strategic becoming, I'm going to give you 11 codes. Not tips. Not hacks. Not strategies to manipulate or force or trick your way into abundance. Codes. Ancient keys that unlock dormant circuits in your consciousness. Protocols that reprogram your relationship with prosperity at the quantum level. At the soul level, at the level where reality is still soft like clay in the potter's hands. Ready to be molded by your intention, each code is both ancient and immediate. Each one has been tested by mystics who sat in caves, by merchants who built empires, by ordinary people who discovered extraordinary wealth simply by shifting their inner world. Each one has been validated by quantum physics, by neuroscience, by the observable laws of energy and consciousness. And each one, when properly installed in your system, when truly embodied in your cells, will make you magnetic to the exact resources, opportunities, and wealth streams you've been seeking. Here's how we'll move together. I will teach you the code. I will guide you into the feeling of it. I will walk you through embodiment practices, because knowledge without integration is just spiritual entertainment, just more information cluttering an already overwhelmed mind. You're not here to collect concepts. You're here to transform your field. You're here to become someone new. Someone wealth recognizes. Someone prosperity trusts. Over the next 30 days, these 11 codes will cycle through your awareness like the moon through its phases. You'll practice them, layer them, allow them to compound like interest in your consciousness. And here's what will happen, beloved. Opportunities will appear that weren't visible before. Money will come from unexpected sources, checks in the mail, clients you'd forgotten about, ideas that suddenly monetize. Your offers will land differently in people's hearts. Your energy will shift from chasing to receiving, from desperate to magnetic, from scattered to coherent, not because you got lucky. Because you became the kind of consciousness that prosperity recognizes as safe passage. Because you became a field so clear, so stable, so trustworthy that wealth said, yes, this one, finally, someone who can hold me well. So settle deeper now, beloved. Silence everything else. Let this be ceremony, not consumption. Let this be initiation, not information. For the next hours, we are in the sacred work of rewiring. We are in the holy process of becoming a great place for money to live. Let's begin this journey together. Code 1, Sufficiency, the sacred ground. The first code is the foundation. It is the soil from which everything else grows. It is the bedrock, the ground floor, the place where all true wealth begins. And it is this, beloved, you already have enough. I feel your mind resisting even as I speak these words. I feel it cataloging lack like an accountant of scarcity. The bills stacked on the counter. The debt that keeps you awake at night. The dream deferred. The gap between here and where you long to be. But listen carefully, deeply, with your soul, not just your ears. This code is not about your bank account. It is about your field. It is about the frequency you're broadcasting into the quantum ocean of possibility. Here's the paradox that will set you free. If you approach money from a consciousness of not enough, you create an energetic signature that repels the very thing you seek. Scarcity begets scarcity like winter begets ice. Desperation reads as danger to the universe. When you move through the world broadcasting, I don't have enough, the universe, which is infinitely literal, which has no sense of humor about these things, says, you're right. You have spoken. So let it be done. Here's more evidence of your proclaimed truth. But when you anchor in sufficiency, when you root in the deep cellular knowing that right here, right now, in this breath, you are resourced. You send out a signal that changes everything. A signal that says, I am stable. I am grounded. I am a safe place for wealth to land and multiply. Now, let's be crystal clear, because this is where people stumble into spiritual bypassing and wonder why it doesn't work. Sufficiency is not pretending you have millions when you have pennies. It's not toxic positivity wearing a spiritual mask. It's not lying to yourself about reality. Sufficiency is the deep recognition that in this moment, you have what you need to take the next step. You have breath moving through your lungs. You have consciousness aware of itself. You have capacity. You have creativity. You have the ability to choose differently right now. And from that foundation, from that solid ground, you build empires. The wealthy think differently, beloved. Their nervous systems operate on a different frequency. They don't think, I need money to start. They think, I have enough to begin. That shift, tiny as a mustard seed, powerful as a nuclear reaction, changes everything. It changes how they walk into rooms, how they make offers, how they receive opportunities, how they hold conversations, how the entire field responds to their presence. So here's your first practice. And we're going to do this together, slowly. With the reverence of ritual, imagine you're opening a journal. Or perhaps you're simply opening the journal of your heart. We're going to do what I call the sufficiency audit. You're going to find 3 pieces of evidence, real and tangible and true, that prove you already have enough in this moment. First, ask yourself, what worked out this week, even in a small way? Perhaps your body healed a cut without you thinking about it, performing miracles of regeneration while you slept. Perhaps someone smiled at you and that smile changed the chemistry of your day. Perhaps you found a parking spot right when you needed it, or woke up without pain, or received a kind word, or simply made it through another day when part of you wasn't sure you could. Let your nervous system register this truth: I am supported by invisible intelligence. I am held by forces I cannot see but can absolutely feel. Second, ask yourself, what resource do you currently have that you didn't have a year ago? Perhaps it's a skill you've developed, rough and imperfect, but yours. Perhaps it's a connection, a relationship that didn't exist before. Perhaps it's a piece of clarity, a lesson learned through pain that has made you wiser. Perhaps it's simply that you're still here, still trying, still opening to possibility when you could have closed. Let yourself see, I am always accumulating wealth, even when it doesn't look like money. Even when it doesn't show up in my bank account, I am becoming richer. Third, and this one will break your heart open if you let it, what do you have right now that someone, somewhere, is praying for? Your health, however imperfect. Your freedom, however limited. Your access to these words, this teaching, this moment of possibility. Your ability to imagine something different. There are people in hospital beds who would give everything they have just to walk. There are people in prison who would give anything for your freedom. There are people dying who would trade all their wealth just for one more breath. Let this land in your body. I am already abundant in ways I've been blind to. I am already wealthy in currencies I've stopped counting. Take a long, Slow breath now and let these 3 truths settle into your cells like rain into parched earth. Let them reorganize your frequency. Let them close the valve on desperation that's been draining your power. This is not gratitude for the sake of feeling warm and fuzzy. This is not positive thinking papering over real problems. This is frequency alignment. This is you tuning your consciousness to the channel where wealth already exists. Every time you anchor in sufficiency, you stop leaking energy through the holes of lack. You become a closed circuit. You become a field that wealth can trust because it knows you won't squander it in the frenzy of not enough. And here's the magic that will unfold when you practice sufficiency daily. Not as a mood but as a discipline, not when you feel like it but especially when you don't. You start noticing that you have more margin than you thought. More time. More energy. More options. More pathways opening. Because sufficiency isn't about having more stuff. It's about seeing clearly what's already here. And when you see clearly, you use wisely. And when you use wisely, you create more. And when you create more, the universe says, this one knows how to steward. Let's give them more to steward. Make this your morning practice for the next 30 days, beloved. Before you check your phone, before you let the world in with all its noise and demands, write 3 pieces of evidence of sufficiency. Watch your field stabilize like a table finding its legs. Watch opportunities start appearing in that newfound stability. You are enough. You have enough. And from this sacred ground, we build everything else. Code 2, the anchor word, installing your new identity. Now we move deeper, beloved, into the realm of language as spellcasting. Into the understanding that words are not just communication but creation itself. Words are spells. This is not metaphor. This is etymological fact, spiritual truth, quantum reality. The word spell and the act of spelling share roots because ancient peoples understood what we're only now remembering, that language shapes reality like a river shapes stone. Every word you repeat becomes a command to your subconscious mind, an instruction to the field. A tuning fork that your entire life begins to harmonize around like iron filings arranging themselves around a magnet. So we're going to give you a sentence. Simple in structure. Potent in frequency. Non-negotiable in its repetition. And you're going to repeat it so many times over the next 30 days that it stops being something you say and becomes what you are. It will drop from your lips to your heart to your cells to your very DNA. Here it is, beloved. Listen to it with your whole being. I am a great place for money to live. Feel those words. Let them land. Don't rush past them. I am a great place for money to live. Say it with me now, even if you're alone, even if it feels strange. Let your voice give it power. I am a great place for money to live. Again. Feel it resonating in your chest like a bell. I am a great place for money to live. One more time. Let it drop into your belly, into your root, into the foundation of your being. I am a great place for money to live. Do you feel that subtle shift? That small earthquake in your consciousness? That's your field beginning to reorganize around this new truth. Because your subconscious doesn't argue with declarations spoken with conviction. It simply accepts them as instructions and begins constructing evidence to support them. It's like a servant awaiting orders, and you just gave it a very clear command, but here's where most people fail, beloved, and I need you to hear this clearly. They say the mantra once, feel a little surge of hope, maybe write it on a sticky note, and then forget it by noon when the bills come or the client cancels or the car breaks down or life does what life does. We're not doing that. We're installing this code through repetition, through rhythm, through ritual. Through the kind of commitment that breaks through resistance. Here's your anchor protocol. And I want you to take this seriously as sacred practice, 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. You will stop whatever you're doing. Set alarms if you need to. Make this non-negotiable as breathing. When that moment comes, place your hand over your heart like you're making a vow to your own soul. Take one deep breath and say out loud, with as much conviction as you can summon, I am a great place for money to live. Say it 3 times. Let each repetition land deeper. Morning, when you're setting your field for the day. Afternoon, when the world has tried to convince you otherwise. Evening, when you're settling into rest and programming your subconscious for the night's work. 3 times a day, every day, for 30 days. That's 270 repetitions, beloved. That's not affirmation. That's installation. That's not hoping. That's reprogramming. That's not wishing. That's becoming, and here's the key that most people miss. You're not trying to convince yourself. You're not arguing with doubt. You're not wrestling with the inner critic that says, but you're not, look at your bank account. You're simply stating the new program like you're uploading software into a computer. Your job isn't to believe it fully on day 1. Your job is to repeat it faithfully until your nervous system has no choice but to accept it as true. Until your cells start humming with it. Until your field starts broadcasting it. Until the universe starts responding to it. Now, I want you to do something powerful. At some point today or tomorrow, record yourself saying this sentence. Pull out your phone, open your voice memos, and say it slowly, deliberately, like you're speaking a vow to the universe itself. I am a great place for money to live. Save that recording. Name it something you'll recognize. And then, whenever you feel scarcity creeping in like fog, whenever you check your bank account and feel that old familiar panic rising, whenever you see someone else winning and feel that toxic envy, whenever you're about to make a decision from fear instead of trust, play that recording. Let your own voice remind you of who you're becoming. Let your own authority call you back to your new identity. Because here's what's happening beneath the surface of all this, beloved. In dimensions you can't see but can absolutely feel, every time you declare I am a great place for money to live, you're sending a signal into the quantum field. A clear, coherent signal. And the field responds not to what you want but to who you are being. Not to your wishes but to your frequency. Not to your hopes but to your identity. When you consistently embody the frequency of a safe, trustworthy, abundant container, money stops being something you chase like a prisoner chasing freedom. It starts being something that seeks you out like water seeking its level, like light seeking darkness to illuminate, like a weary traveler seeking home. This is not wishful thinking, beloved. This is physics. Energy flows toward coherence. Clarity attracts resources. Order magnetizes abundance. When you become a stable signal instead of static noise, prosperity finds you through the crowd. Set those reminders right now. Morning, afternoon, evening. Name them anchor or identity or remember. And every time they ring, stop. Just stop. Whatever you're doing can wait 30 seconds. Place your hand on your heart. Take one full breath. And speak your truth into existence. I am a great place for money to live. Let it rewire you, one repetition at a time. Let it remake you, one day at a time. Let it call in the wealth that's been circling your field like a hawk circling prey, waiting for you to become ready. Waiting for you to become the person who can hold it without destroying it or yourself. You are becoming that person now. Code 3, Clean Exchange, the architecture of true value. Now we move from identity into action. Beloved. From frequency into form. From the invisible into the visible. Because here's the truth that will set you free from years of struggle. Money is the receipt for solved problems. Money is the thank you note the universe writes when you create value. Money is the natural consequence of being useful. If you're struggling financially right now, if money feels like it's running away from you no matter how hard you work, it's not because you're unlucky or cursed or somehow cosmically rejected. It's because somewhere in your business, your work, your offerings, there's confusion. There's blur. There's vagueness. There's favor disguised as service. There's giving without clear receiving. Let me show you what I mean. And be honest with yourself as I speak. How many times have you done something for someone, spent hours on a call giving advice, created something custom, solved their problem, held space for their chaos, and then felt weird, uncomfortable, almost dirty about asking for money? So instead you said something like, "Oh, it's no big deal," or "Just give me whatever feels right," or worse. You said nothing at all and just hoped they'd figure it out. Hoped they'd value it, hoped they'd offer something fair? That's not generosity, beloved. That's a leaky container. That's self-abandonment wearing the mask of service. And money doesn't flow into leaky containers. It flows right through them like water through a net, and you're left wondering why you're working so hard and still broke. The third code is clean exchange. Clear promise. Clear price. Clear delivery. Clear timeline. No apologies. No vagueness. No pay what you can unless you truly mean it and can hold the energetic field for that level of openness without resentment. Wealthy people don't do favors, beloved. And I don't mean that coldly. I mean they respect their energy and your energy enough to make the exchange explicit, clear, honoring. When both parties know exactly what's being given and what's being received, there's no resentment festering in the shadows. There's no confusion creating energetic debt. There's no martyrdom breeding bitterness. There's just clean, clear, mutual exchange that honors everyone involved. So let's do something powerful right now. We're going to take something you do, a skill, a service, a product, an offering, and turn it into a clean exchange in your mind or on paper if you have it nearby. We're going to fill in 4 essential pieces. First, the promise. What specific result do you create for someone? Not what you do, what they get. Not your process, their outcome. I help you design a website is fuzzy, vague, forgettable. I build you a 5-page website that loads in under 2 seconds and turns visitors into paying clients is clean. Feel the difference? Second, the price. What does it cost? Name the number. Not a range. Not it depends. Not we'll figure it out. A number. If you don't know what to charge yet, charge something. You can adjust later as you learn your value. But vagueness is poison in the field of exchange. Vagueness says, I don't value myself, so why should you? Third, the delivery. What exactly will they receive, and in what format? 3 coaching calls? A 20-page document? A custom illustration? Specific deliverables. Tangible outcomes. Things they can point to and say, yes, I received what I paid for. Fourth, the timeline. When do they get it? Soon is not an answer. As soon as possible is not an answer. Within 14 days of purchase is an answer. Every Monday for 6 weeks is an answer. Give them a timeline they can mark on their calendar now. Take a moment and construct your clean offer using this structure. I help specific person achieve specific result through specific method for specific price. Delivered in specific format within specific timeline. Let it form in your mind. Let it take shape. Even if you don't have a business yet, even if you're just starting, create one for a skill you have. Even if it's I organize closets or I edit resumes or I cook meal prep for busy parents. Get clear. Get specific. Get clean, read it back to yourself now, silently or aloud. Does it feel solid? Could someone hear that sentence and know exactly what they're getting, what it costs, and when they'll have it? If yes, beloved, congratulations. You just created a container money can flow into. You just built architecture for abundance. If no, notice where the fuzz is. Is it the promise? Sharpen it like a blade. Is it the price? Name a number and stand in it. Is it the timeline? Commit to one even if it scares you. Now here's the embodiment piece, and this is where the real transformation happens. Stop giving this thing away for free starting today. Right now. This moment. If someone asks for it, send them this offer. If they're a friend, you can offer a discount, but still name the full price first so they understand the value. Still make the exchange clean and clear. Because every single time you give away your value without clear exchange, you train the universe that your energy is worth nothing. You train clients that you don't really believe in yourself. You train your own nervous system that you're not worthy of receiving, and the universe, beloved, is infinitely literal. It takes you at your word. It believes what you show it, not what you wish or hope. Clean exchange doesn't make you greedy. It makes you sustainable. It makes you trustworthy. It makes you professional. It signals to the quantum field, I know my worth. I honor my energy. I am a professional container for value. I take myself seriously, so you can trust me to take you seriously too, and money rushes toward that frequency like water rushing downhill, like rivers to the ocean, like iron to magnet. Make your offers clean. Make your exchanges clear. Watch your bank account respond like a mirror reflecting your new integrity. Code 4, anticipated gratitude, living in the fulfilled future. The fourth code takes us into territory that might feel strange at first. Beloved, but stay with me because this is where miracles happen. This is where we step into the realm of time as malleable, reality as responsive. Consciousness as creative. Here's what mystics have known and quantum physicists are now proving. Time is not linear in consciousness. Your future self already exists in a parallel probability. The version of you with the income, the freedom, the overflow, the ease, they're already there, already living that reality. Waiting for you to collapse the wave function by stepping into their frequency now, and the fastest way to collapse that wave. To bring that future into this present, to magnetize that reality toward you? Gratitude for what hasn't happened yet. Most people practice gratitude backward, beloved. They wait until the thing arrives, then they say thank you. They wait for the check to clear, then they feel grateful. They wait for the client to sign, then they celebrate. But that's reaction, not creation. That's responding to what is, not calling forth what could be. Anticipated gratitude is creative. It's generative. It's the art of feeling the fulfillment before the form manifests. It's thanking the universe for the answered prayer while the prayer is still in motion, still taking shape in the invisible. It's claiming the harvest before the seed even breaks through soil. This is not delusion, beloved. This is not pretending. This is frequency matching. When you feel genuine gratitude for the money that's on its way, you align with the timeline where it's already here. You stop vibrating lack. You start vibrating reception. You become a match for what you desire. So here's the practice, and we're going to journey through it together slowly, with reverence. We're going to write what I call a letter from your future. You're going to describe your financial life 6 months from now as if it's already happened. Not as a wish or a hope or a maybe. As a memory. As lived experience. As done. And I'm going to guide you through it with prompts, slowly, so your imagination has time to paint the picture clearly. Imagine you're opening a letter. It's addressed to you, but it's from you. From your future self, 6 months ahead. And it begins, Dear past me, I'm writing to you from 6 months in the future, and I just had to tell you, everything worked out. The money came. Not exactly the way I expected, but better. So much better. Here's what happened. Now let these questions form images in your mind, and if you can, speak the answers aloud or whisper them or hold them in your awareness. First, How much money came in during these 6 months? From what sources? Be specific, beloved. Don't lowball yourself. Don't play small to stay safe. Let the number feel exciting and real and slightly impossible but somehow believable. Second, what did receiving that money allow you to do? Did you pay off debt that had been crushing your chest? Did you take a trip somewhere your soul had been calling you? Did you hire help so you could finally breathe? Did you buy your child something they needed, something that made their eyes light up? Paint the picture. Third, how did your daily life change? What does your morning feel like now that money stress is no longer the first thing you think about when you wake? What are you saying yes to that you used to say no to? What peace has entered your body now that survival mode has released its grip? Fourth, who did you become in the process? What belief did you let go of that had been running your life like a puppet master? What new identity did you step into? How do you carry yourself differently now? Fifth, what surprised you? What unexpected gift or opportunity came along with the money? What did the universe throw in as bonus, as grace, as confirmation that yes, you're on the right path? Take a long, slow breath now and let these images settle deeper. Let them become more real than your current circumstances. Let your body feel what it will feel when this is your life. This is not fantasy, beloved. This is pre-paving. You're laying the energetic groundwork for the path ahead. You're sending scouts into the future to build a road back to now. And here's the key, you must visit this letter, this vision, this future memory every morning for the next 30 days. Read it aloud if you wrote it down. Replay it in your mind if you didn't. Let it become more solid, more real, more inevitable than the evidence of your current bank account, because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you expect. It responds to what you embody. It responds to the frequency you consistently broadcast. And when you consistently expect fulfillment, when you live in the feeling of wealth before it shows up in form, when you practice being wealthy in consciousness before you're wealthy in circumstances, you become an irresistible match for the opportunities that will make it real in form. Anticipated gratitude is the frequency of masters. It's what separates those who manifest from those who merely wish. Practice it daily. Watch your reality bend toward your vision like light bending around gravity. Sacred pause, integration and embodiment. Let's pause here, beloved. Breathe with me. Your nervous system has been receiving a tremendous amount of new information, new frequency, new possibility. And we need to give it space to integrate, to settle, to reorganize around these new truths. If you can, if you're in a place where it's safe to move, gently roll your shoulders back. Let them drop away from your ears. Feel the space that creates. Stretch your arms overhead if that feels good. Interlace your fingers and reach toward the ceiling, toward the sky, toward the infinite that's pouring into you. Feel your spine lengthen. Feel yourself taking up more space in the universe. Now fold forward gently if your body allows. Let your head hang heavy like ripe fruit on a branch. Let gravity do the work. Bend your knees if you need to. There's no forcing here, only allowing. Just breathe into the stretch and let everything you've absorbed settle into your cells like rain into earth. Drink some water if you have it nearby. Hydration is frequency stabilization. Every sip is you saying yes to integration, yes to this new identity, yes to becoming someone wealth trusts. Walk around your space if you can. Feel your feet on the ground. You're not just listening to content, beloved. You're becoming someone new. You're transforming. And transformation requires space, requires breath, requires the kindness of patience. Take this time. Stretch. Breathe. Stare out the window if there's one near. Let your eyes rest on something natural if possible, a tree, the sky, anything that reminds you you're part of something vast and intelligent and abundant. We've anchored sufficiency into your field. We've installed your new identity mantra. We've cleaned up your offers and exchanges. We've practiced living in the fulfilled future. These aren't just ideas floating in your mind now, beloved. They're frequencies running in your field. They're codes activating in your consciousness. And the next codes will build on this foundation like a temple rising stone by stone. So breathe. Settle. Trust the process unfolding in you. When you're ready, we'll continue deeper. Code 5, non-force, the power of presence over push. Welcome back, beloved. Now we're going to talk about something that might be costing you more money than anything else, something you might not even realize you're doing, trying too hard. I know what you've been taught. I know the story you've been sold. That effort equals results. That hustle equals worth. That if you're not grinding, you're not growing. That rest is for the weak and ease is for the lucky, and if you want anything in this life, you have to take it by force. But here's the truth that no productivity guru wants you to know. The truth that would collapse their entire empire. Desperation repels prosperity. When you're in force, when you're pushing and striving and white-knuckling and grasping, when you're chasing opportunities like a predator chases prey, you send out a frequency that screams, I don't have it. I'm not it. I'm lacking and desperate and scared. And that frequency creates resistance. It makes people uncomfortable without them knowing why. It makes opportunities slip away like soap in a tub. It turns potential clients into ghosts, potential partners into crickets, not because you're bad at what you do. Not because you're unworthy. But because your energy feels unsafe. Because desperation is energetically predatory, and everything in nature, including human nature, runs from predators. Think about it in the natural world, beloved. When you try to grab a butterfly, what happens? It flies away faster than you can blink. But when you sit still, when you become present and calm and safe, it lands on your shoulder like a blessing. Water doesn't force its way downhill. It flows, it finds the path, it moves with grace. Trees don't try to grow with clenched fists, they receive sunlight and expand naturally. The entire universe operates on the principle of effortless alignment. And yet we've been taught to override that ancient wisdom with sheer willpower and caffeine and 3 hours of sleep. The fifth code is non-force. And it's not about doing nothing. It's not about passivity or waiting for things to fall into your lap. It's about doing the right things from a state of presence rather than panic. It's about aligned action rather than desperate action. Here's the physiology, beloved. Because understanding this will help you recognize when you're in force, when you're in desperation. Your nervous system activates what's called fight or flight. Cortisol floods your bloodstream like a tsunami. Your pupils dilate. Your heart races. Your breath becomes shallow. And most importantly, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that makes wise decisions, that sees possibilities, that creates strategy, goes offline. You become reactive, impulsive, scattered. You're operating from your reptile brain, your survival brain, your just make it through today brain. And from that state, beloved, you make terrible financial choices. You take bad deals because you're scared to say no. You undercharge because you're afraid they'll walk away. You chase people who don't want what you have. You send desperate emails at midnight. You say yes when you mean no. You abandon your boundaries because you need the money now, but when you're in presence, when your nervous system is calm like a still lake, when you trust the process even when you can't see the outcome, you activate what's called the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest response. Your intuition comes online like lights turning on in a dark house. You see opportunities you would have missed in the panic. You say the right thing at the right time. You make offers that land because they come from groundedness, not grasping. You attract instead of chase. You become magnetic instead of desperate. So how do we shift from force to flow, beloved? How do we move from panic to presence, especially when the bills are due and the account is low and every cell in your body is screaming, do something, anything, now? Breath. Specifically, a technique called the 4-7-8 breath. This is a nervous system reset you can do anywhere, anytime you feel the grip of desperation tightening around your throat. Let me guide you through it now. We'll do 3 rounds together, slowly, and I want you to really feel the shift happening in your body. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath, hold that life force. For a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now exhale through your mouth, releasing everything. For a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, beloved. Breathe in through your nose, filling your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Let it reorganize your system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And release. Let it all go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale deeply, drawing in peace. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Marinating in calm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale fully. Releasing force. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feel that? That's your nervous system downshifting from 5th gear to 2nd. That's you moving from survival mode into creation mode. That's the frequency shift from desperate to magnetic. That's you becoming someone opportunities feel safe approaching. Now here's your daily practice, and it's beautifully simple. 1 impulsive action less per day. That's it. Just 1. Notice when you're about to send the desperate email, the one where you're over-explaining and justifying and basically begging. Stop. Do 3 rounds of 4-7-8 breath. Then either don't send it, or rewrite it from presence, from service, from value rather than need. Notice when you're about to lower your price because you're scared they'll say no. Scared you'll lose the opportunity, scared you're asking for too much. Stop. Breathe. Hold your number. Let them say no if that's what's meant to happen. Trust that the right clients will say yes at the right price. Notice when you're about to post on social media from a place of please notice me. Please validate me. Please buy from me. I'm drowning and I need you to save me. Stop. Breathe. Either post from service, from genuine value, from something helpful, or don't post at all. The universe doesn't reward desperation. It rewards clarity. 1 less desperate action per day might not sound like much, beloved. It might sound almost too simple to matter. But over 30 days, that's 30 moments where you chose presence over panic. 30 moments where you strengthened the neural pathway of trust instead of the neural pathway of fear. 30 moments where you trained your field to stay calm under pressure. And every time you do that, every single time, you become a little bit more the kind of person that opportunities feel safe approaching. You become a little bit more someone wealth recognizes as stable, as trustworthy, as ready. Non-force doesn't mean passive. Non-force doesn't mean lazy. It means strategic. It means doing what's yours to do with full presence, then releasing attachment to the outcome. It means planting seeds with care and trusting the soil to do its work. It means showing up fully without grasping desperately. Practice the 4-7-8 breath 3 times a day, morning when you're setting your field, midday when the world has stressed you, evening when you're releasing the day. And especially before any money conversation, any sales call, any moment where stakes feel high, and your nervous system wants to take over. Breathe. Ground. Trust. Let the universe feel your stability. Watch how differently the world responds when you stop chasing and start receiving. Code. 6. The service frequency. Money as receipt. Let's get something absolutely clear now, beloved. Because this misunderstanding keeps so many beautiful souls trapped in poverty consciousness, money is not the goal. Utility is the goal. Service is the goal. Being genuinely helpful is the goal. Money is just the receipt. Money is just the thank you note. Money is just the universe's way of keeping score of value created. Every single dollar you've ever earned or ever will earn is a thank you note from someone whose life you made easier, whose problem you solved, whose burden you lightened, whose joy you increased. Money is not extracted or manipulated or forced. Money is exchanged. Freely given in return for value freely offered, and here's the principle that will transform your entire relationship with wealth. The more useful you become, the more money flows toward you. Not because you're special. Not because you're lucky. Not because you know some secret. Because you're needed. Because you're solving real problems. Because you're genuinely making people's lives better. This is the frequency of service. And it's the most misunderstood code of all. Most people think service means sacrifice. They think it means giving until you're empty. They think it means undercharging because I just want to help people. They think it means martyrdom, self-abandonment, burning yourself out for the sake of others. But that's not service, beloved. That's self-destruction wearing a spiritual mask. True service is creating so much value that the exchange feels like a gift on both sides. When someone pays you and feels like they got way more than they gave, like they received a bargain, like they're walking away richer than when they arrived, that's clean service. When you receive payment and feel energized rather than drained, grateful rather than resentful, excited to serve them again rather than relieved it's over, that's sustainable service. The goal is not charity. The goal is not sacrifice. The goal is mutual uplift. Win-win. Both parties leaving the exchange better than they entered it. So here's the question that will change your business, your career, your income, your entire financial reality. How can I over-deliver by just 1% more? Not 50%. Not a complete redesign of everything you do. Just 1%. One small thing you could add that would make your clients feel extra seen, extra supported, extra delighted. One tiny detail that would make them think, wow, I didn't expect that. That's amazing. Maybe it's a 2-minute voice note after a coaching session summarizing the key insights so they don't have to take notes and can just be present. Maybe it's a follow-up email a week later checking in, asking how the implementation is going, offering one more piece of support. Maybe it's a bonus resource you throw in without being asked, a template, a checklist, a curated list of tools. Maybe it's just responding faster than they expect, making them feel prioritized instead of like another number in your queue. 0.1% more value. One small detail that costs you almost nothing but creates disproportionate delight for them. 0.1% more, compounded over time, creates a reputation. And reputation, beloved, is the most powerful wealth generator there is. Because people don't just buy your product. They don't just buy your service. They buy your field. They buy the feeling of being in your care. They buy the energy of how you make them feel about themselves. So let's design your 1% right now. Think about your current work, your current offering, whatever it is you do in exchange for money. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I could add that would take me minimal extra effort but create disproportionate delight for the people I serve? Let 5 possibilities float through your awareness. Don't filter them. Don't judge them. Just let them come. Maybe it's packaging. Maybe it's presentation. Maybe it's a personal touch. Maybe it's speed. Maybe it's communication. Maybe it's anticipating a need before they even know they have it. Choose one. The one that feels most doable. The one you could start implementing this week without overwhelming yourself. That's your service upgrade, beloved. That's your new standard. That's how you become someone people talk about, someone people refer, someone people come back to again and again and again. Now here's the commitment: implement that 1% upgrade for every client, every project, every transaction for the next 30 days. No exceptions. Make it your new baseline. Watch what happens. Watch the referrals start flowing like a river that's been unblocked. Watch the repeat business. Watch people leaving you reviews that say, "I don't know what it is, but working with them just feels different." It feels special. It feels like they actually care. That's the service frequency, beloved. That's the energy that makes people want to pay you more, recommend you loudly, come back to you repeatedly. And here's the deeper truth that will set you free: when you operate from service, money stops being about you. It stops being personal. It stops being tangled up with your worth and your identity and your survival. It becomes a natural byproduct of usefulness, a side effect of being helpful, a consequence of creating value. The universe doesn't care about your needs. That sounds harsh, but it's liberation. The universe doesn't respond to, "I need money to pay rent." The universe responds instantly, powerfully, generously to, "I create value. I solve problems. I make people's lives better." The more you give in clean, sustainable, joyful ways, the more the field reorganizes to support you. Not because you're manipulating it, because you're aligning with the fundamental law of reciprocity that governs all of reality. Service is not martyrdom, beloved. Service is strategic generosity, not philosophically. Not "I'd be happy" or "I'd feel free." Literally, practically, specifically, where would it go? Do you have a system? A structure? A plan? A container? Because here's what happens to most people, and maybe this has happened to you: money comes in and it immediately leaks out. Bills grab it. Emergencies eat it. Impulse purchases drain it. "I'll figure it out later" becomes "where did it all go?" There's no intentionality, no architecture, no honoring of what arrived. And the universe sees that, feels that, responds to that by saying, "This person isn't ready for more. They can't hold what they have." Sending more would be like pouring water into a basket. The seventh code is container, beloved. You must build a receiving structure before the wealth arrives. Because abundance without structure is just chaos. And chaos repels more abundance like oil repels water. Think of it like this: if I handed you $1 million in cash right now, this very moment, and you had no plan, what would happen? Panic. Confusion. Overwhelm. Probably some very expensive mistakes. Fear disguised as celebration. But if you had a clear system, a structure that said, "This percent goes here. This percent goes there. This portion is for growth. This portion is for peace. This portion is for joy," you'd receive it calmly. You'd steward it wisely. You'd honor it properly. You'd prove yourself trustworthy with much by first being trustworthy with little. The universe is watching your stewardship, beloved. Not to judge you, not to punish you, but to calibrate how much you can hold, to assess whether you're ready for the next level, to see if you'll honor what arrives or squander it in the chaos of not enough thinking. So we're going to build 2 containers right now. Just 2. Simple, clear, sacred, non-negotiable. Container 1, opportunities. This is your investment fund, your growth capital, your yes money. The money that's reserved exclusively for things that will expand your capacity to create more wealth. Courses that will teach you valuable skills. Coaching that will help you break through your ceiling. Tools that will make your work easier or better. Team members who will free your time. marketing that will reach more people. This is not spending, beloved. This is planting. This is seeds going into soil. This is today's investment becoming tomorrow's harvest. Container 2, peace. This is your savings, your buffer, your breathing room, your I don't have to operate from survival mode money. The money that exists only to give you space, margin, time to think clearly, time to make wise decisions instead of desperate ones. This money doesn't work hard. It sits quietly and gives you the precious gift of not being in crisis. Of not having to take the bad client because you need to pay rent. Of being able to wait for the right opportunity instead of jumping at any opportunity. Here's the protocol. And I need you to really hear this every single time money comes in: paycheck, client payment, unexpected refund, birthday money. Whatever the source, you immediately, before anything else, split it. For most people starting this practice, I recommend 10% to opportunities and 10% to peace. The remaining 80% covers your operations, your bills, your food, your life, your responsibilities. If 10% feels absolutely impossible right now, start with 5. If 5 feels impossible, start with 1. The amount doesn't matter as much as the habit, beloved. The signal you're sending matters more than the size of the deposit, because every single time you set aside money for growth and margin, every single time, you're saying to the universe, I'm not just surviving. I'm building. I'm preparing for more. I'm proving I can steward wealth wisely. I'm becoming someone who can be trusted with abundance, and the field responds to that like flowers respond to sunlight. Now, here's the sacred rule: these containers are not to be rated. They're not your emergency fund in the sense of my car broke down so I'll take from peace. Peace money only gets touched for true existential emergencies, or strategic breathing room that will actually create more peace. Opportunities money only gets spent on things that will genuinely generate more value, more income, more capacity. You don't raid them for regular life expenses. You don't borrow from them because you miscalculated your budget. They're sacred. They're protected. They're your future self taking care of your present self. Let me guide you through setting this up right now, even if you're lying down. Even if you can't physically do it this moment, visualize yourself opening your banking app or sitting at your computer. See yourself creating 2 new savings accounts or sub-accounts if your bank allows it. See yourself naming them clearly: opportunities and peace. Feel the act of creating these containers. Feel how it changes something in your field just to have them exist. If you can't create separate bank accounts, see yourself opening a spreadsheet. See yourself making 2 columns. Opportunities in one, peace in the other. The tool doesn't matter, beloved. The bank doesn't matter. The intention matters. The architecture matters. The signal matters, and here's your first deposit. And I want you to do this as soon as you're able. Ideally today, if you have any money sitting in your account right now, even $20. Even 10, split a portion into each container. Even if it's $2 into opportunities and $2 into peace. Do it. Let that be the first brick in your new financial temple. Let that be you saying, I am ready. I am building. I am becoming someone wealth can trust. Take a breath now and feel what shifts when you commit to this structure. Feel how your nervous system relaxes just slightly, knowing that you're no longer letting money flow through you like water through a sieve. You're becoming a container. You're becoming architecture. You're becoming ready. Over the next 30 days, beloved, every single dollar that enters your life gets split. No exceptions. No, just this once. No, I'll do it later. Immediately. Watch those containers grow, even if it's slow. Even if it's small. even if it feels like it will take forever to build something meaningful. You're not just building money. You're building a field of order. And order attracts abundance like gravity attracts matter. Money doesn't flow into chaos. It flows into ready vessels. You just became a ready vessel. Code 8, Purpose Alignment, the intersection of soul and service. Let's go deep now, beloved. Let's talk about the truth that most people avoid because facing it means admitting they might need to change everything. All the codes in the world won't matter if you're doing work that slowly kills your spirit. If you're trading your one wild, unrepeatable, precious life for a paycheck that feels like slow death. If you wake up every morning with a stone in your stomach because you have to spend another day doing something that makes you feel dead inside, the 8th code is purpose alignment. And it's built on a simple but profound truth. Sustainable wealth comes from the intersection of 3 things: what you're naturally good at, what the world actually needs, and what makes you feel alive. Miss one of those 3 and you'll struggle, beloved. You'll hustle and grind and sacrifice and still feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill. But hit all 3, find that sweet spot where your gifts meet the world's needs, meet your joy. And money flows like you've tapped into an underground river that's been there all along, just waiting for you to dig deep enough. Let me break it down. Talent is what you're naturally good at. The thing people always ask you for help with because it's obvious to them that you have a gift for it. The skill that feels easy to you but looks impressive to others. The ability you have where you think, doesn't everyone do this? And the answer is no, they don't. That's your magic. Utility is what solves a real problem. What people will actually pay for. What creates measurable value in someone's life. What makes their existence easier or better or more joyful or more profitable or more peaceful. What they need, not just what you want to give. Joy is what energizes you instead of draining you. What you could do for hours and lose track of time. What makes you feel like yourself instead of like you're performing being someone else. What lights you up from the inside. What you would do even if no one paid you, even if no one was watching, even if the world never acknowledged it. Most people optimize for only 1 or 2 of these, beloved. They do what they're good at but they hate it, talented and useful but joyless, so they burn out or become bitter. Or they do what they love but no one will pay for it, joyful but not useful, so they stay broke and eventually resentful. Or they chase what's profitable but have no natural skill in it, useful but no talent or joy. So they're constantly struggling, constantly comparing themselves. Constantly feeling like a fraud. But when you find the center of that 3-circle diagram, when you discover what you're genuinely skilled at, that people genuinely need, that genuinely makes your soul sing, that's when wealth becomes inevitable. Not because you're lucky. Because you're aligned. Because you're operating from your essence instead of from performance. Because you're giving from overflow instead of from depletion. And here's what happens in that alignment. Work stops feeling like work. You stop watching the clock, counting down until you can stop. You start entering flow states where 3 hours feel like 30 minutes. You deliver better results because you're operating from inspiration rather than obligation. Clients feel the difference in your energy. They sense that you actually love what you do. They trust you more. They refer you more freely. They pay you more willingly. Opportunities multiply because you're not just performing a service, you're expressing your essence. You're being who you actually are instead of who you think you should be. Money always flows faster toward authenticity than toward performance, beloved. Always. So let's map your alignment right now. This isn't necessarily a career change exercise, sometimes. It's just a recalibration, a small pivot, a clarification of what you're already doing so you can lean into the parts that light you up and delegate or release the parts that don't. In your mind, draw 3 overlapping circles. Or if you have paper nearby, actually draw them. Label them: talent, utility, joy. Now we fill them in, slowly, honestly, without judgment. Circle 1, talent. Think of 5 things you're genuinely good at. Not what you wish you were good at. Not what looks impressive on a resume. What you actually excel at. Skills people acknowledge. Abilities that come naturally to you even if you've never had formal training. Don't be humble here. Don't second guess. If you're good at truly listening to people, write it. If you're good at organizing chaos into systems, write it. If you're good at making people laugh even in dark moments, write it. If you're good at seeing solutions others miss, write it. This isn't about credentials or degrees. It's about capacity. About what you can actually do well. Circle 2, utility. Think of 5 problems you've seen people struggle with that you instinctively know how to solve. What pain points do you notice? In the world? What frustrations do you hear repeatedly from people around you? What would people pay to have handled or fixed or eased? This isn't about what you think should be valuable or what sounds noble. It's about what actually creates relief in someone's life. What makes their days easier? What solves something real? Circle 3, joy. Think of 5 activities that make you lose track of time. What do you do where 3 hours feel like 30 minutes? What energizes you instead of depleting you? What would you do even if no one paid you, even if no one ever knew? Be honest here, beloved. If you love analyzing spreadsheets and finding patterns in data, own it. If you love having deep one-on-one conversations where you help people see themselves clearly, claim it. If you love building things with your hands and seeing physical results, write it down. If you love researching and learning and becoming an expert, acknowledge it. Take a few moments now. Let these 3 circles fill themselves in your awareness. Don't force it. Just notice what arises. Now look at what you've seen. Do any overlaps reveal themselves? Any place where your natural talent intersects with a real need, intersects with something that lights you up, that's your alignment zone, beloved. That's where your sustainable wealth lives. That's the territory you need to be working in as much as possible. Maybe you're already doing it and you just need to lean in harder, charge more for it, make it more central to your offerings. Maybe you're close, but you need to tweak your positioning or your packaging. Maybe you're way off and this is your wake-up call to start planning a transition, however slow, however gradual, toward work that actually honors your soul. Either way, here's your next step. Choose one action that moves you closer to that intersection. Just one. This week, maybe it's saying no to a project that drains you even though it pays well. Maybe it's pitching a new service that actually excites you to a potential client. Maybe it's having a conversation with your current clients about pivoting toward the thing you actually love doing instead of the thing you've been doing because it was easy to sell. Maybe it's taking a course or getting certified in something that lives in that sweet spot. Maybe it's simply carving out 2 hours this week to work on something that aligns instead of spending all your time on things that don't point one action. Make it specific. Make it scheduled. Make it real, and here's why this matters more than any marketing strategy or pricing tactic or sales technique. People can feel when you're aligned, beloved. They can sense when you're doing your real work versus your paying the bills work. They feel it in your energy. They hear it in your voice. They sense it in how you show up. And they trust the former. They invest in the former. They refer the former. They want to be around the former because it reminds them that it's possible to do work that actually feeds your soul instead of drains it. Alignment isn't a luxury. It's a frequency amplifier. It makes everything else, your offers, your service, your presence, your magnetism, exponentially more powerful. Find the intersection, beloved. Do the work that lives there. Watch your income rise to meet your integrity. Code 9, decision without guilt. Ending what needs to end. Now we talk about something most people avoid because it feels uncomfortable, harsh, unkind, or selfish. But avoiding it is costing you everything. Endings. The ninth code is decision. Without guilt, and it's built on this non-negotiable truth, every yes to something that's not working is a no to your highest wealth. Every minute you spend tolerating misalignment is a minute stolen from your aligned abundance. Every dollar you waste on things that don't serve you is a dollar that can't go toward things that do. You know exactly what I'm talking about, beloved. You feel it in your body right now as I speak these words, the subscription you haven't used in months but keep paying for just in case, even though you know you'll never use it. The client who drains every ounce of your energy, who takes in questions and demands and never seems satisfied, but you can't say no because they need me, or I need the money, or what if no one else comes? The project that's barely profitable, that sucks up hours of your time for pennies in return, but you keep doing it because you started it and now you feel obligated even though it makes you miserable. The business relationship that's become toxic but you're too scared or too guilty to exit. The commitment you made months ago that you now dread every time you think about it. These aren't just inconveniences, beloved. These aren't just minor annoyances you should be strong enough to handle. They're energy leaks. They're hemorrhages. They're holes in your container through which wealth pours out faster than it can pour in, because here's what happens. Every unresolved situation, every half-dead commitment, every I really should deal with that, but I don't want to take up space in your nervous system. It's a background process running on your mental hard drive, constantly draining power from the work that actually matters. It's like having 30 browser tabs open on a slow computer. Everything runs slower, everything takes more effort, nothing works as well as it could. And worse, much worse, it signals to the universe, I don't have boundaries. I'm not clear about my worth. I tolerate misalignment. I'll accept anything rather than risk being alone or broke or disliked, and the universe, being infinitely literal, being perfectly responsive, says, okay, noted. Here's more misalignment for you. Here's more energy drains. Here's more situations where you have to compromise yourself because apparently that's what you're available for. Decision without guilt means ending what needs to end cleanly, quickly, and without apology. Not cruelty. Clarity, not meanness. Maturity, not abandonment. Honoring. Let me give you a framework, beloved. 3 categories of endings. Category 1, cancel. Things you're paying for that you don't actually use or value. Subscriptions, memberships. Software trials that became subscriptions, services you signed up for 6 months ago with good intentions. Pull up your bank statement right now in your mind. Scan the recurring charges. Find 3 things, just 3, you can cancel today. Not tomorrow. Not when I have time. Today. This is Tenter Novamente Ui Continue Editor Immediate Action that will free up energy and money right now. Category 2, renegotiate. Relationships or agreements that could work but need new terms, new boundaries, new clarity. The client who needs clearer containers around your time and energy. The project that needs a revised scope because it's grown beyond what you agreed to. The partnership that needs honest recalibration because something has shifted. Have the conversation. This week. Not next month when it feels easier. This week. Write the email. Make the call. State what you need clearly, kindly, firmly. Let them adjust or let them go, but stop carrying what was never yours to carry. Category 3, complete. Projects or commitments that are past their expiration date. That died months ago, but you've been dragging their corpse along out of guilt or obligation or some story about what it means about you if you don't finish. Finish them quickly, even imperfectly, even good enough, and move on. Or acknowledge they're not going to happen, that the season has passed, that it's okay to release them, and officially let them go. Have a little ceremony if you need to. Say thank you for what you taught me, goodbye. I release you. and then actually release them. Here's your decision protocol. Beloved, and we're going to do this together right now. First, think about your finances. Pull up your bank statement in your mind, the last 2 months of charges. Scan for recurring payments, ask yourself for each one, does this actively contribute to my wealth, my health, or my joy? If the answer is no, or if the answer is I'm not sure, or if the answer is well, I might use it someday, it's a leak. Mark it mentally. Acknowledge it now, move through your calendar and email from the last month in your awareness. Look at where your time actually went, not where you think it went or where you wish it went. Ask yourself, did this move me closer to aligned income? Did this serve my highest wealth? If the answer is no, if you spend hours on something that created no value and no joy and no progress, it's a leak. Note it. Finally, think about your relationships, clients, partners, collaborators, even friends. If you're honest, ask yourself, is this a reciprocal exchange where both people win, or am I carrying this? Am I giving way more than I'm receiving? Am I resentful? Am I exhausted? If you're carrying it, if there's an imbalance that's been there for months and isn't getting better, it's a leak. Acknowledge it even if it hurts to see. Now breathe. Don't judge yourself for any of this. You did the best you could with the awareness you had. But now you have new awareness. Now you can choose differently. Look at everything you've identified. All the leaks. All the drains. All the places where your life force and your money are hemorrhaging. Pick 3 leaks you will stop this week. Not think about stopping. Not plan to stop eventually. Actually stop. This week, point 1: cancellation. 1 boundary that needs stating. 1 completion or release, and here's the part that matters most, the part where most people fail: no guilt. No long explanations. No over-apologizing. No making yourself smaller to make them feel better. When you cancel the subscription, just cancel it. Click the button. Send the email. Done. No guilt. When you state the new boundary to the client, state it clearly and kindly. Moving forward, I'm available for calls between these hours, or I'm adjusting my scope to include only this, and anything beyond that will require a new agreement. Say it. Stand in it. No guilt. When you complete the dead project or officially release it, do it and close the chapter. Send the final deliverable even if it's imperfect. Or send the I've decided not to move forward with this email. Do it. Move on. No guilt. You're not being mean, beloved. You're being clear. And clarity is the highest form of kindness, to yourself and to the other person. Who actually deserves someone fully present rather than someone resentfully obligated, someone half there. Someone who says yes with their mouth but no with their energy. Every leak you stop frees up energy. And that energy is currency. It's life force. It's space for better opportunities to enter. It's room for aligned clients to find you. It's capacity for the work that actually matters, that actually lights you up, that actually creates the wealth you're meant to be living in. Decide. Act. Release. No apologies. No guilt. Just clarity. Watch how quickly your field stabilizes when you stop tolerating what doesn't serve. Watch how fast new opportunities appear when you create space for them by removing what's taking up room without earning its place. Decision is power, beloved. Guilt is poison. Choose power. Code 10, Conscious Circulation, the practice of sacred flow. Let's talk about something that might surprise you. Something that goes against everything you've been taught about saving and protecting and hoarding, spending money on purpose. With intention, with joy, can actually make you wealthier. I know what you've been conditioned to believe. Save every penny. Deprive yourself. Build the fortress. Protect. Defend. Never let any money leave. Live like a monk. Sacrifice all pleasure until someday, maybe, if you're good enough and disciplined enough, you'll finally be allowed to breathe, to enjoy, to live, and yes, beloved, unconscious spending is absolutely destructive. Impulse buying, emotional shopping, retail therapy, using money to fill the void that money can never fill. Spending to feel something, anything, to numb the pain, to pretend for a moment that you're someone you're not. That creates chaos. That creates the cycle of earning and spending and regretting and earning and spending and regretting until you die exhausted, but the opposite extreme, never spending. Never allowing yourself pleasure, never circulating energy. Gripping every dollar like it's the last drop of water in the desert, that creates stagnation. And stagnant energy repels wealth just as powerfully as chaotic energy does. Maybe more so, the 10th code is conscious circulation. And it's built on a law older than money itself, older than human civilization. Encoded in the structure of reality, energy must move to multiply. Think about water, beloved. If it sits still too long, what happens? It becomes swamp. Stagnant. Toxic, breeding disease and decay. But when it flows, when it moves as river, as stream, as ocean tide, it's alive. It's fresh. It nourishes entire ecosystems. It sustains life. It creates beauty. Money is the same. Money is energy in physical form. It's not meant to sit frozen in an account doing nothing, creating nothing, touching nothing. It's meant to circulate, to flow, to move through you like breath moves through lungs, in and out, in and out. The rhythm of life itself, and when you circulate money consciously, with intention, with joy, with alignment, with gratitude, you send a signal into the quantum field that changes everything. You signal, I trust the flow. I'm not in scarcity. I'm in abundance. I'm not a dam trying to stop the river. I'm a channel through which the river moves, and the field, the universe, the invisible intelligence that governs all exchange, responds by sending more. By opening the tap wider. By saying yes, this one understands, this one knows how to let it flow. Let's send more through them. But here's the crucial distinction, beloved. The line that separates conscious circulation from unconscious spending. Conscious circulation is not retail therapy. It's not treat yourself as justification for every impulse. It's not buying things to feel better about yourself or to impress others or to fill the emptiness that only your own presence can fill. Conscious circulation is spending with intention and joy. It's buying something because it genuinely adds value to your life. Because it supports someone else's beautiful work. Because it brings you uncomplicated delight, and doing it without guilt, without second-guessing. Without the scarcity hangover the next day where you punish yourself for having enjoyed something. So here's the practice. Beloved, and we're going to do it together as sacred ritual over the next 7 days. You're going to do 2 things. 2 simple acts of conscious circulation. 2 ways of proving to yourself and the universe that you trust the flow. First, make one purchase that brings you pure, uncomplicated joy. Not something you need. Not something practical or sensible or justified by logic. Something that just makes you smile. A book that calls to your soul. A plant that will green your space. A perfect coffee from that place you never let yourself go to. A small piece of art. A candle that smells like memory. Something under $50 if money is tight. Or whatever amount feels exciting but not reckless for your current reality, and when you buy it. Beloved, I want you to do something important. Don't apologize to yourself. Don't immediately start calculating what else you could have done with that money. Don't let guilt creep in through the back door. Instead, As you're purchasing it, say out loud or whisper or think with intention, I am circulating abundance. More is coming. I trust the flow. Feel the joy. Feel the trust. Feel yourself practicing being wealthy instead of waiting to be wealthy. Feel yourself embodying the consciousness of someone who has enough to choose pleasure, to choose beauty, to choose delight. Second, make one small donation or generous gesture. Tip extra, like really extra, the kind that makes someone's eyes widen. Buy coffee for the person behind you in line. Donate to a cause you care about, even if it's just $10. Send money to a creator whose work has enriched your life, an artist, a teacher, someone whose gifts have touched you. Leave a bigger tip than usual for your server and look them in the eye when you do it, and when you do it, when you give, say this: money flows through me easily. I am a clear channel. I am a river, not a reservoir. Feel what it feels like to be someone who has enough to share. Every time you spend consciously and joyfully, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. You're telling it, money is safe. Money is good. Money flowing out doesn't mean it won't flow back in. Money moves through me, not away from me. I'm not a point where money dies. I'm a point where money dances, and every time you give consciously and joyfully, you're sending a signal to the quantum field: I'm not in survival mode. I'm not operating from scarcity. I'm in surplus. I'm in overflow. I'm a conduit, not a dam. I'm trustworthy with flow. I understand that holding too tight actually stops the flow rather than protecting it, and the universe, which is infinitely responsive, which matches your frequency exactly, which gives you more of what you prove you can handle, responds by saying, oh, you're ready for more flow. You understand circulation. You're not going to clutch and grasp and suffocate the energy. Here's more. Let's see what you do with this. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Think of one thing you could buy this week that would bring you uncomplicated joy. See it clearly. Feel the moment of receiving it. Let yourself want it without shame, without guilt, without the voice that says you don't deserve this, or this is frivolous, or you should be more disciplined. Now think of one person or cause you could support with a small, generous gesture. See their face if it's a person. Feel the impact if it's a cause. Imagine the moment when you give. Feel how good it would feel to be someone who gives freely, who shares easily, who moves through the world with open hands rather than clenched fists. Open your eyes. Commit to doing both within 7 days. Write them down if you need to. Schedule them if that helps. But do them. Actually do them. Let this not be another piece of information you consume and forget. Let this be an actual practice that shifts your actual frequency. And here's the final piece, the one that seals the magic. When you do these acts of conscious circulation, pay attention to what happens next. Don't force it. Don't obsess over it. Just notice. Notice if an unexpected opportunity appears. Notice. If money comes in from a surprise source, a refund you'd forgotten about, a client who finally pays that old invoice, a gift, a sale, something. Notice if you just feel lighter, more open, more ready, more alive. Notice if your relationship with money shifts from never enough to always moving. Because conscious circulation isn't magic, beloved. It's physics. It's energy. It's you removing the blockage you created by gripping too tightly. It's you proving to yourself and the universe that you're not afraid of money moving. And when you're not afraid of it leaving, you stop repelling it from arriving. Spend with joy. Give with joy. Trust the river. Watch the river flow faster, fuller, bringing more to you because you're no longer trying to trap it. You are not a bucket, beloved. You are a fountain. Act like it. Code 11, strategic silence. Protecting the sacred seed. The final code, beloved, is the one that will save you from the most seductive trap of all, the trap of your own need. For validation, for acknowledgement, for the world to witness your becoming before you've become. Because here's what happens to most beautiful souls: they get an idea, a vision, a breakthrough, a revelation. The universe whispers something true and they hear it and they feel it, and it's electric, it's alive, it's possibility incarnate. And immediately, within minutes, within hours, before the vision has even had time to take root, they tell everyone. They post it on social media. They announce it to friends. They share it in groups. They seek validation, approval, excitement, acknowledgement from the crowd. And then, mysteriously, the energy leaks. The momentum dies like fire without oxygen. The idea feels less potent, less possible, less real. The vision that was so clear becomes fuzzy. They wake up 3 days later wondering why they're not excited anymore, why the spark has gone out, why it all feels flat and difficult and maybe not even worth doing. It's not because the idea was bad, beloved. It's not because they're not capable. It's because they gave away the energy before it had a chance to root. They scattered the seed on hard ground instead of planting it in protected soil. They exposed the tender shoot to harsh elements before it was strong enough to withstand them. The 11th code is strategic silence, and it's built on ancient wisdom that every farmer, every gardener, every person who's ever planted anything understands. Protect the seed. When you plant a seed in soil, you don't dig it up every day to check on it. You don't parade people past the garden to admire what hasn't sprouted yet. You don't shine bright lights on it at all hours. You leave it alone. You let it work in the dark, in the hidden, in the mysterious underground where transformation happens. You trust the process. You water it quietly. You tend it privately. And only when it breaks through the surface, only when it's strong enough to withstand weather and wind, only then do you invite others to witness it, your ideas, your visions, your plans, your financial goals, their seeds, beloved. Living things. Fragile in the beginning. Vulnerable. Needing protection. Needing the darkness of silence to germinate properly. Every time you share an unformed vision, you expose it to elements that can kill it. Other people's doubt, their skepticism, their projections, their "that's been done before," or "are you sure you can do that?" or "let me tell you why that won't work." And even if they're well-meaning, even if they think they're being helpful, even if they love you and want the best for you, their energy interacts with yours and dilutes the frequency. It introduces interference into the signal. It plants seeds of doubt that weren't there before. Because here's the thing about vision in its early stages: it's pure potential. It's not yet stable form. It's quantum possibility that hasn't collapsed into specific reality yet. And it needs your undivided energetic investment to solidify. It needs the full force of your belief, your intention, your focused attention. When you split that energy by inviting others into it too soon, you weaken the field. You disperse the power that's needed to make it real. This doesn't mean never share, beloved. It means timing matters. It means discernment matters. It means protection matters. Share the outcome, not the plan. Share the delivery, not the dream. Share the harvest, not the seed, when you've finished the thing, when you've launched the offer. Signed the client, made the sale, created the result, then celebrate publicly if you want to. Then invite witness. Then let people see what you've built. But while it's still forming, while you're still building, while the energy is still soft and vulnerable and finding its shape, keep it close. Keep it sacred. Keep it protected. Here's your practice for the next 30 days, and this might be the hardest one because it goes against everything social media has trained you to do. Identify one money goal or project you're working on right now. Maybe it's a new offer you're creating, a price increase you're implementing, a pitch you're crafting for a dream client, a business pivot you're considering. Something alive, something in process, something that matters, and commit to not talking about it until it's done. Until it's real. Until it exists in form, not just in potential, not to your best friend who always supports you. Not on social media to your followers. Not even to your partner unless they're directly involved and need to know for logistical reasons. Not to your mastermind group. Not to anyone. 48 hours of strategic silence minimum. Ideally, until the thing is complete, until it's launched, until it's real. This will be hard, beloved. Your ego will protest. Part of you will desperately want to share because sharing feels like doing something. Talking about it feels like progress. Getting feedback feels like moving forward. The dopamine hit of people responding, of being seen as someone who's doing interesting things, of collecting likes and comments, it's addictive. It's seductive. It tricks you into thinking you're building when really you're just performing, but resist. Channel that energy into execution instead of explanation. Pour that need for validation into actual creation. Use the pressure of silence to propel you into action. And here's what you'll notice, beloved. Here's the magic that unfolds when you protect your seeds. Projects move faster when you're not leaking energy through endless storytelling. You spend more time actually doing the thing instead of talking about doing the thing. Decisions become clearer when you're not crowdsourcing opinions from people who aren't living your life and don't have your vision and can't feel what you feel. Confidence builds when you're proving it to yourself first, when you're building evidence for yourself rather than seeking approval from others. Strategic silence isn't about secrecy, beloved. It's not about hiding or being mysterious or playing games. I share my harvests, not my seeds. One more time, make it yours. I share my harvests, not my seeds. Write this somewhere you'll see it. On your phone. On a note by your computer. Make it a reminder, a boundary, a sacred rule, and here's the litmus test. The way you'll know whether to share something when you're about to post. About to tell someone, about to make the announcement, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I sharing this to celebrate completion, or am I sharing this to seek validation? Am I sharing a harvest, or am I sharing a seed? If it's the latter, if you're sharing because you want people to tell you it's a good idea, because you want to feel seen, because you want acknowledgement for having the idea even though you haven't done the work yet, stay silent. Keep it close. Do the work first. Then share, because the universe rewards completion, not announcement. It rewards execution, not intention. It rewards people who do the work quietly and share results loudly. Not people who announce every idea and never follow through. When you become someone who finishes things in silence and then reveals them complete, you become undeniable. You become someone people take seriously. You become someone opportunities seek out because they know when you say something is happening, it actually happens. Your word becomes law. Your intentions become reality. Your field becomes magnetic because there's no gap between what you say and what you do. Protect your seeds, beloved. Water them in private. Tend them in silence. Let them root deep in the darkness before you expose them to light. Let them grow strong in the hidden before you invite witness. Watch how much more you accomplish when you stop performing your process and start living it. Watch how much more powerful your announcements become when they're revelations of what's already real instead of promises of what might be. The universe is not impressed by your plans. It's impressed by your results. Give it results to celebrate. The prosperity audit. Sacred integration. Now we bring all 11 codes together, beloved. We weave them into wholeness. We assess where you stand so you know exactly where to focus your energy, where to direct your attention, where the leaks are and where the strength is. This is not judgment. This is diagnosis. Clear seeing. Honest assessment. Sacred inventory. Because you cannot fix what you won't acknowledge. You cannot strengthen what you won't measure. You cannot grow what you won't tend with awareness.so. We're going to move through a checklist together, slowly, with honesty and compassion. 10 questions. For each one, you'll answer in your heart, yes, no. Or partial, yes means you're doing this consistently, it's part of your daily practice. It's installed in your system.no means you're not doing this at all. It's not part of your awareness yet, partial means you know about it. You do it sometimes, but it's inconsistent. It hasn't become automatic yet, just notice your answers. No shame. No judgment. Just truth. Question 1, sufficiency. Do you have a daily practice, actual daily, not when I remember, of acknowledging what's already working, what you already have, what's already enough? Do you write evidence of sufficiency every morning? Do you anchor in I have enough to take the next step before you start your day? Question 2, anchor word. Are you repeating your identity mantra, I am a great place for money to live, at least twice a day, ideally 3 times? Is it said as reminders? Do you actually stop and say it when the reminders go off? Has it started to feel true in your body yet? Question 3, clean exchange. Are your offers crystal clear, promise, price, delivery, timeline, with no vagueness, no apology, no pay what you want unless you truly mean it? When someone asks what you do and what it costs, can you answer clearly in 1 sentence? Or do you stumble, hedge, apologize? Question 4, anticipated gratitude. Are you actively practicing feeling and thanking for the money that's on its way before it arrives? Do you read your letter from the future regularly? Do you spend time in the feeling of having already received? Or are you only grateful after things show up? Question 5, non-force. Are you using breathwork or some nervous system regulation tool to stay in presence instead of desperation before money conversations? Do you pause before sending the desperate email? Do you breathe before making the scared decision? Or are you still operating from panic? Question 6, service frequency. Have you implemented at least 1 small over-delivery element in your current work, 1 thing that adds unexpected value, 1 detail that makes clients say, wow, I didn't expect that? Or are you just doing what's required and nothing more? Question 7, container. Do you have a system where every dollar that comes in gets immediately allocated, some to opportunities, some to peace, some to operations? Have you set up the accounts or the tracking? Do you actually do it every time money comes in? Or is money still just coming and going without structure? Question 8, purpose alignment. Is the work you're doing right now at least 70% in the intersection of talent, utility, and joy? Are you mostly doing work you're good at that people need that lights you up? Or are you grinding through work that drains you just because it pays? Question 9, decision without guilt. Have you ended, renegotiated, or completed at least 1 thing in the last month that was draining your energy? Have you canceled a subscription, stated a boundary, or released a dead project? Or are you still carrying everything, tolerating everything, saying yes to everything? Question 10, conscious circulation. Have you made at least 1 intentional purchase or generous gesture with joy in the last 2 weeks? Something that made you feel abundant? Or are you gripping every penny in fear, never allowing yourself pleasure or giving? Breathe now. Take a moment. Count in your awareness, how many yes answers? That's where you're solid. That's where you're strong. That's your foundation. How many partial answers? That's where you're inconsistent. You know the code, but you're not fully embodying it yet. You're practicing but not mastered. How many no answers? That's where your leaks are, beloved. That's where the hemorrhaging is happening. That's where your work is. That's where your attention needs to go. Now here's what you do with this information. Pick your 3 biggest leaks. The 3 no answers that feel most costly right now. The 3 places where you can feel energy and money draining away. For each one, you're going to write one specific action you will take in the next 7 days to shift it from no to partial. Not a vague intention. A specific, schedulable action. For example, no on sufficiency becomes: I will set a 7 a.m. alarm called sufficiency and write 3 evidences every morning for 7 days starting tomorrow. No on container becomes: I will open 2 savings accounts named Opportunities in Peace by Friday at noon, and I will transfer 10% of what's in my checking right now into each one. No on clean exchange becomes: I will rewrite my main offer with clear promise, price, delivery, and timeline by Wednesday evening, and I will use that exact language the next time someone asks what I do. Make them concrete. Make them doable. Make them scheduled. Put them in your calendar like appointments you can't break. Point 3 actions. 3 deadlines. 7 days, and here's the commitment, beloved, these 3 actions are non-negotiable for the next 7 days. They're more important than scrolling social media. More important than busy work that makes you feel productive but creates no value. More important than anything that's not a true emergency, because these actions aren't tasks. They're circuit repairs. They're leak sealing. They're foundation building. Every one you complete strengthens your money field like reinforcing a dam. Every one you complete makes you more magnetic, more coherent, more trustworthy to the universe. And here's the beautiful part: you don't have to fix everything at once. You don't have to go from 0 to 11 in 1 week. You just have to fix 3 things. Then, next week, 3 more. Then 3 more. Layer by layer, week by week, month by month, you rebuild your financial operating system from the ground up. This audit isn't a one-time event, beloved. It's a monthly practice. Set a reminder for 30 days from now. Come back to these 10 questions. Watch your yes column grow like a garden in spring. Watch your leaks seal. Watch your field stabilize. Watch your bank account start reflecting your new internal architecture. Prosperity isn't a lightning strike. It's not luck. It's not random. It's a well-maintained system. It's consistent practices compounding over time. It's small choices made over and over until they become your new normal. You just mapped your system. Now go maintain it. Now go strengthen it. Now go seal the leaks and reinforce the foundation. Your wealth is waiting for you to become ready. These codes make you ready. Sacred vision, journey to your wealth home. We're going to go very deep now, beloved. Into your body. Into your cells. Into your field. Into the realm where wealth is not a concept in your mind but a felt reality in your bones. This is not meditation for relaxation. This is reprogramming at the deepest level. This is you showing your nervous system what it feels like to be a safe, stable, abundant container so it knows, viscerally knows, what frequency to hold. So it has a reference point. So it can recognize the feeling and return to it again and again until it becomes your baseline. So settle into wherever you are. Let your body be held by whatever holds it. Feel the support beneath you. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let the outside world fade into background. Let my voice be the only thing you're following. Let yourself sink deeper than thought, deeper than analysis, into the place where transformation happens. Breathe with me now, slowly, deeply. In through your nose, filling your belly first, then your ribs, then your chest. Hold it gently for a moment. And release even slower, letting everything that's not essential flow out like tide returning to ocean again. Breathe in, drawing in golden light, cosmic abundance, the frequency of wealth itself. Hold it. Let it reorganize every cell. And release, exhaling scarcity, exhaling doubt, exhaling every old story that says you're not worthy. One more time. Deep breath in, receiving, opening, saying yes. Hold it, let it become you. And release, surrendering, trusting, letting go. Now I'm going to guide you on a journey, beloved. Just follow my voice. Let the images come. Don't force them. Just allow. Imagine you're standing in front of a house. Not just any house. Your wealth home. The place where money feels safe. The place where prosperity lives. The sanctuary your consciousness has built through all these codes, through all this work, through all this becoming. What does it look like? Don't think about it. Just notice what appears. Is it modern or rustic? Grand or simple? Made of stone or wood or light itself? Whatever appears is right. This is your house. Built by your integrity. Shaped by your choices. Walk up to the front door now. Notice the path beneath your feet. Notice the details. The color of the door. The texture. The quality. This is your creation. This is what you've been building all along, perhaps without even knowing it. Reach out and open the door. Feel the handle in your hand. Solid. Real. Yours. Step inside. Feel the temperature of the air. Is it warm? Cool? Perfect? Notice how it feels on your skin. This is the climate of your consciousness. This is the environment you've created within yourself. Look around the first room. This is your sufficiency room. The walls are lined with evidence. See it. Everywhere you look, photographs, mementos, reminders of times things worked out. Times you were held. Times you had exactly what you needed exactly when you needed it. Moments of grace. Proofs of support. Walk through this room slowly. Let yourself see. Let yourself remember. You have always been resourced. You have always been held. You have always had enough. Now walk to the next room. This is your offer room. See the table in the center, polished wood or glass or stone. And on it, beautifully designed, is your offer. Your clear, clean, powerful exchange. Promise, price, delivery, timeline. All there. All solid. Pick it up. Feel the weight of it in your hands. This is your value crystallized. This is what you bring to the world. This is worthy of compensation. This is worthy of celebration. Move to the next room now. This is your service room. And beloved, everywhere you look there are letters. Messages. Thank you notes from clients. From people whose lives you've touched. Whose problems you've solved, whose days you've brightened. Read a few. Really see them. Really feel them. You create impact. You matter. Your work changes things. You are not just taking up space. You are giving value. You are making things better. Walk to the back of the house now. There's a door that leads to the garden. Open it. Step outside into your prosperity garden. Some plants are just sprouting, new projects, new ideas, seeds you just planted. Some are growing strong, current income, active clients, work in progress. Some are bearing fruit, results, harvests, abundance already realized. Walk through your garden. Touch the leaves. Feel the soil. Smell the earth. This is alive. This is growing. This doesn't need your anxiety. It just needs your tending. Water it with attention. Feed it with action. Trust it with patience, and the center of the garden is a fountain. Water flowing continuously, endlessly. This is circulation. This is the flow. Energy moving, money flowing in and out with ease, with grace, with trust. Walk to the fountain. Dip your hand in the water. Feel it. Cool or warm. Notice how it moves, how it never stops, how it flows and flows and flows. This is your relationship with abundance. Not holding. Not gripping. Flowing. Trusting. Allowing. Now walk back into the house. There's a room you haven't seen yet. Find it. There's a safe in the corner. Your container. Your structure. Your receiving system. Open it. Inside are your 2 accounts, opportunities and peace. See them. They're filling, slowly, steadily, one deposit at a time. Watch them. Feel the security. Feel the readiness. Feel yourself becoming someone who can hold wealth wisely. Finally, beloved, go to the heart of the house. The center room. The sacred core. Stand in the middle of the space. There's a light here. A warmth. A frequency. A hum. This is you when you're fully aligned. This is you when you're in service and in joy and in your gifts. This is you when you trust instead of force. This is you when you're being instead of performing. Stand in that light now. Let it fill every cell of your body. Let it pour through you like water through a river, like sun through leaves, like breath through lungs. Let it remind you at the deepest level, I am a great place for money to live. I am order in a world of chaos. I am clarity in a world of confusion. I am service in a world that needs serving. I am trustworthy. I am ready. I am becoming. And money is just energy looking for a home like this. Energy looking for consciousness like this. Energy looking for a field this stable, this clear, this aligned. Feel it. Not as a hope or a wish or a maybe someday. Feel it as truth. As remembering. As already true in a dimension that's collapsing into this one. You are wealthy in consciousness right now. And consciousness always, always, always precedes form. Breathe into that truth now. Let your body absorb it like earth absorbs rain. Let your nervous system memorize this feeling, this frequency of being home, of being safe, of being enough, of being a place where wealth lives and grows and multiplies. This is your new baseline, beloved. This is what you return to when the world tries to pull you back into old patterns. This house exists. You built it. And you can return here anytime you need to remember who you are. Stay here as long as you need. Let the integration happen. Let the codes settle deeper. Let the transformation complete itself in silence, and when you're ready, no rush. Take your time, begin to feel your body again. Feel your breath. Feel the weight of your bones. Feel whatever holds you, wiggle your fingers gently. Wiggle your toes. Let movement return slowly, organically. Take 3 deep breaths. Bringing yourself back fully. 1, 2, 3. And when it feels right. When you're fully present again, open your eyes. You just showed your system what wealth feels like. Not in your thoughts. In your body. In your cells. In your field. And your body is now recalibrating to match that frequency like a tuning fork finding its note. Do this visualization once a week for the next 30 days, beloved. Let it deepen. Let it become more real each time. Week 2, Service and Alignment. You continue everything from week 1, the sufficiency practice, the anchor word, the containers. But now you add the 4-7-8 breath before any money conversation or moment of high stakes. 3 rounds. Every time. You identify your 1% service upgrade and you implement it with every client, every interaction. You complete your talent utility joy map. You look honestly at where you're spending your energy and whether it's aligned. You choose one action that moves you closer to the intersection of your gifts and the world's needs and your joy. Just one action. You take it this week, week 3, circulation and boundaries. Everything continues, sufficiency, anchor word, containers, breath, service upgrade. And now you add one moment of conscious circulation. You buy one thing that brings you pure joy without guilt. You make one generous gesture without expectation. You feel what it feels like to trust the flow, to not grip, to allow money to move through you. And you address one more leak. You renegotiate one boundary that needs stating. You complete or release one project that's been draining you. You practice decision without guilt. You reclaim your energy, week 4, integration and protection. All the practices continue. They're becoming automatic now, becoming who you are rather than things you do. And now you add your letter from the future. You write it or you refine it. You read it every morning. You live in the feeling of already having received. You practice anticipated gratitude. And you commit to strategic silence, 48 hours minimum of not talking about your current money goal or project. You protect the seed. You let it grow in the dark. You prove you can finish things quietly, and woven through all 30 days, beloved, once a week, you return to the somatic visualization. You journey back to your wealth home. You let it become more real, more solid, more familiar each time. That's the plan. Not complicated. Just consistent, and here's what will happen if you actually do this, if you don't just listen and nod and forget, if you actually implement. By day 10, you'll notice your internal narrative shifting. The voice in your head will sound different. Less scarcity. Less panic. More possibility. More trust. By day 20, you'll notice external circumstances changing. Opportunities appearing that weren't there before. Conversations flowing differently. People responding to you differently. Money showing up from unexpected places. By day 30, you'll look back and barely recognize the person who started this journey. Not because you became someone else. Because you became more yourself. Because you cleared away the debris and revealed the wealthy consciousness that was always there. Waiting to be uncovered, not because you did something extreme or complicated or requiring superhuman discipline. Because you recalibrated your field one practice at a time, one day at a time, one choice at a time. Now, let's seal this with a final declaration. A vow you're making to yourself, to your future, to the wealth that's on its way. I'm going to speak it first, and then I want you to speak it with me. Out loud if you can. Whispered if you must. But with your voice. With your full commitment. With every cell in your body saying yes, here it is, I am a great place for money to live. I am clear in my offers. I am aligned with my purpose. I am in service to what matters. I trust the flow. I protect my seeds. I honor my boundaries. I circulate with joy. Wealth recognizes me as home. And I receive with an open, steady, grateful heart. I am becoming. I am ready. I am worthy. And so it is. Say it with me now, beloved, I am a great place for money to live. I am clear in my offers. I am aligned with my purpose. I am in service to what matters. I trust the flow. I protect my seeds. I honor my boundaries. I circulate with joy. Wealth recognizes me as home, and I receive with an open, steady, grateful heart. I am becoming. I am ready. I am worthy. And so it is. One more time. Louder. With conviction. With every ounce of intention you have, I am a great place for money to live. I am clear in my offers. I am aligned with my purpose. I am in service to what matters. I trust the flow. I protect my seeds. I honor my boundaries. I circulate with joy. Wealth recognizes me as home, and I receive with an open, steady, grateful heart. I am becoming. I am ready. I am worthy. And so it is. Feel that vibration in your body. That's your new frequency installing itself. That's your wealth consciousness coming online. That's you speaking your future into existence. There it is, beloved. Your new operating system. Installed. Activated. Running. You are not broken. You were never broken. You were just broadcasting on the wrong frequency. And today, in this sacred space, we tuned you to the frequency where wealth already exists. Where abundance is already flowing, where you are already recognized as worthy. As ready, as home, the codes are in you now. They'll continue working even when you're not consciously thinking about them. They'll be reorganizing your field while you sleep. They'll be attracting opportunities while you're living your life. They'll be magnetizing wealth while you're simply being yourself. Your only job is to practice. To show up. To be consistent. To honor the work. To trust the process. This isn't the end, beloved. This is the beginning. This is you stepping through a doorway into a completely different relationship with prosperity. Into a life where money feels easy instead of hard. Where abundance feels natural instead of rare. Where wealth is simply the logical outcome of who you've become. Welcome home, prosperity. You've finally found your person. Go now. Begin. Practice. Become live from the codes. Let them live through you. Let them reshape your reality from the inside out. The next 30 days will determine the next 30 years. Not because of magic. Because of commitment. Because of consistency. Because of you finally choosing to become the person wealth has been waiting for. You have everything you need. The codes are installed. The practices are clear. The path is laid out. All that's left is for you to walk it, and beloved, I know you will. I feel it. Your field is different now. Your frequency has shifted. You're ready in a way you weren't before you began this journey. So go. Walk the path. Do the practices. Seal the leaks. Build the containers. Trust the flow. Protect the seeds, and watch, just watch, how quickly your external world begins to mirror your internal transformation. The wealth you seek is already seeking you. You just needed to become someone it could find. You are that someone now. Go live like it. Go be it. Go receive it. I'll see you in the overflow. Blessed be. And so it is.